2.
Sick.
See you next Tuesday.
Oh, today's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
I'm Ben. I'm Ben.
I'm Annabelle.
And we're sick. See you next
We're sick. See you next Tuesday. Today
is a special Tuesday.
Yeah.
Although we did, I think, talk about
hint
this.
it quite significantly in the Gladiator episode
did.
linked below. So every weekers will know.
Yes.
And video viewers may have a hint.
As well. Or also, if you're just reading the title of this, you might
Welcome!
know.
Actually, I don't think there's anyone on earth who doesn't know what we're about to talk about.
We saw Wicked.
We saw Wicked! Like, very recently. Just
Maybe,
came straight from the
like,
movies.
An hour ago?
Yes.
I think it ended an hour ago.
Fresh from AMC.
Yes.
We're here to deliver.
We're here to deliver. We are dressed for the part.
Dressed to the nines.
As you can see, I'm Glinda.
That's an audio. That's a visual joke for the audio listeners. I'm wearing pink.
And I'm wearing green.
Yeah.
Make your guesses in the comments.
Let us know. Sound off in the comments below.
But I think that the best way to start this podcast is to just preface what
Our relationship with the franchise.
Oh, I was going to say what it's about and then maybe
about?
jump into like our history with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're going to do a little bit of a spoiler-free, even though it's been
Podcast?
out for years.
Okay. I will try my best. I fear I
You're
might.
going to do it.
I fear I might do it. I fear I might accidentally do it. A couple of my notes have some spoilers. But, okay. Wait, I'm going to do the plot recount?
Yes. Brief. Don't spoil anything. Give us...
Okay. A green woman, university student,
Me?
you, comes to Shiz University, a university for the gifted in Oz, and to drop off her sister, Nessa Rose, who's about to embark on her college journey. And when she's there, she gets a little angry because everyone's like, ew, you're green. And she, ew, you're green. And she like causes a little commotion, a little kerfuffle. Everyone's like, whoa, what is that? It's her powers. She's powerful. She's crazy. She's green. She's got powers. The principal of the school, Madame Marable, says, you, babe, you need to come. And who doesn't like that? Glinda. Glinda, the sexy blonde good witch, who is a popular girl in school. And obviously she's threatened by Elphaba's presence because she's like, ew, you're green, but also you're perhaps more powerful than me. You're threatening my stance at this school because I want to be Queen Bee. They start off as enemies. However, fates have brought them together. They're sharing a dorm room. Will they remain enemies?
Will Elphaba meet the wizard? I think
what she's waited for since birth, actually.
I think something super important to say is this is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz.
So true.
It is set in the world of The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
And there is the wizard that we all know and love. There's Munchkin Land.
Yeah.
There's everything.
Absolutely. The beginning of the movie actually starts where The Wizard of Oz starts,
yes.
in a way. Well, actually, the end. Like, Dorothy is skipping down the yellow brick road, and she's just killed the Wicked Witch of the West. And Glinda, Noga, is addressing the Aussians.
Yes.
And then we go into a little flashback and see how they met, and it turns out that you can't judge a book by its cover.
Is she really the Wicked Witch of the East? The West? She killed the Wicked Witch of the East.
Yeah.
Is she really the Wicked Witch of the West?
And maybe we can have empathy for people who look different from us.
Don't judge a book by its cover or its color.
Don't judge.
Is this a movie about racism?
Yes, genuinely yes. I feel like it's always been like a little allegory for racism.
Yeah, zombies.
Yeah, no, fully. This was the original zombies, I'd argue.
But yeah, so let's talk about our history with.
Yeah.
This is a Broadway musical.
This is a Broadway show.
And it's also part 1.
Yes, so in the musical originally is 2.5 hours in total, including intermission. This single movie is 2.5 hours, and it is what is in Act 1, but expanded. They've taken some stuff from the book, they've taken some stuff from The Wizard of Oz, they've just made it cinematic. They've really delved into the world of magic.
Sure.
Which you can't really do on stage as much.
Yeah, and it is a musical in the movie as well.
Yes.
The movie musical. Of course. I feel like if it's not...
Yeah. The fans would go nuts.
Yeah.
Because also, you've probably heard of it, insanely avid
It
fan
just
base.
had its anniversary on
Yeah,
Broadway.
its 25th anniversary was recently.
Last year?
Oh no, its 20th anniversary was 2 years ago. No, wait.
Why do I want to say its 20th
Its
anniversary
20th
is
anniversary
this
was
year?
last year.
Last year?
2003 it came out, so
Okay.
2023 was its
On
20th
October 30th?
anniversary. Yes. Happy birthday to some.
And Wicked.
Yes.
We share a birthday.
That's
But yeah, so it's been on Broadway, still
It's
currently on Broadway.
absolutely still running.
So you can see the movie, you can go see the show.
Yes.
What is your history with
Wicked.
Wicked?
I've actually never seen it on Broadway.
Oof. Okay.
Okay. But I saw it when it first came out in Sydney in 2007, I want to say.
Okay.
2006. Fact check in the comments, in the editing.
It's just you personally commenting. Actually,
You dumb pink hole.
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised. No. So I'm pretty sure it came out like 2006, and I was obsessed. I went in with not really any expectations. I loved The Wizard of Oz, obviously. I feel like that's a little childhood staple for many a person. Absolutely loved it. Lost my little mind. For ages, I was touting that it was my favorite musical until that became like the basic answer that people give. And I said, oh no, I need to steer clear.
and everyone auditioned with Defying Gravity.
Oh, absolutely. Popular was my
Popular,
go-to audition song for things. And it stuck around in Sydney, actually. I feel like musicals come and go very quickly, but it was out, and then it came back, and then it came back again in 2015. And so I've seen it 4 times live in Sydney. And also
Okay.
I have seen a little cheeky bootleg of the original Broadway cast.
But we didn't say that.
But I never said that, because it doesn't exist. How about you, Ben?
I love The Wizard of Oz. Definitely something I watched so much growing up, to the point where I literally remember like every single scene.
Yeah.
And could probably like recite what happens in the movie verbatim, like every scene. I loved it. I was in The Wizard of Oz.
There you are.
In high school. I
Who do you
played
play, Ben?
The Scarecrow.
Yeah, you did. 10 out of 10 performance. I recently had the pleasure
the
of
bootleg.
watching. I watched the bootleg recently. To pregame for Wicked, and incredible.
And then I saw Wicked on Broadway. I don't know exactly what year.
You saw the original Broadway
was.
cast though, which is insane.
I don't know when though. I don't know what year or what time I would have gone.
Insane.
That's the only time I've seen Wicked, but I remember seeing it and I loved
Yeah.
everything about it. I loved the music. I was shocked by like how much I loved it.
It's so good.
And that is the only time I've seen Wicked. But I would continuously listen to like the soundtrack. Also, like
is
it's hard
prolific.
to escape.
That's the thing. I feel like people who don't know a lot about musicals, you know something from Wicked.
You'll hear it and you'll be like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
And like
Defying Gravity, I feel like a lot of people know. Popular, a lot of people know.
those are the two I think
The biggies.
huge for non-musical people.
Very true.
But other than that, I feel like we both have healthy relationships with Wicked.
I don't think either of our relationships are toxic.
No, we're not. I don't think. Maybe you used to be, but obsessive.
Yeah.
With it, I was not obsessed. Maybe is to the point that you were.
And I definitely was for a bit, but I'm like chill now.
Sure.
I'm chill now. Just throw it away.
Sure.
I'm chill.
And so I think we're both very excited for the movie.
Oh yes. Stakes were high.
I agree. Stakes were really high. We didn't say this. Cast goes crazy.
Cast goes crazy.
Elphaba is played by none other than Broadway
legend. Tony Award winner.
Cynthia Erivo.
Academy Award nominee.
She was amazing as an actress in everything she does.
Yeah.
And obviously an amazing singer.
The like world's craziest voice. She's insane.
Yeah. And then Glinda,
both iterations we get to see in this film. Ariana Grande.
Yes.
Grammy Award
pop star.
No nominee. Surely she's got a Grammy.
She's probably got a Grammy.
Yeah.
But pop star. Ariana Grande.
And Broadway star.
Sure.
Yeah.
13
the musical. Also seen a bootleg.
Nickelodeon star.
Nickelodeon star.
Everyone knows her.
Star of Screen Queens.
Everyone knows her.
Everyone knows her.
Plays Glinda.
Yep. Oh, my grandma. Big fan. Big fan.
Link to her reactions below.
In the description below.
And then you've got Jonathan Bailey.
Yep, star of Bridgerton. Sexy
Ethan
man.
Slater.
Star of SpongeBob on Broadway, derogatory.
Star of Ariana Grande's bedroom.
I feel.
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh, Academy Award winner.
Yeah.
The only Academy Award winner in the cast.
Truly.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Does he have one?
I feel like he could.
I feel like
there's
I'll
a
give him one.
chance. If anybody else has one, it's
gotta
gotta
be him.
But I don't know.
Or
if he
Ethan
does.
Slater.
Obviously.
Has Ethan Slater ever been in a film?
Okay, Jeff Goldblum actually has a nomination for Best Live Action Short Film.
Oh.
But he did
From
not
1996?
win. Yes, but he did not win.
Damn it. Robbed.
But yeah, Jeff Goldblum is there.
Yep.
Star of Jurassic Park. You ever heard of him?
Mm-hmm. Can I give a spoiler?
Maybe? Yeah, sure.
About cast?
Spoiler alert.
So the original Broadway musical stars Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, both of whom had done things before, but I feel like Wicked really like catapulted them to other things and fame, and like that's what they're known for. They do make a sexy little like elevated cameo.
Oh yes, they're in quite
they're
a
in
lot.
a musical
They
number.
sing.
They sing, and boy do they sing.
Yes. So they do feature in it,
which I loved. I was hoping that would happen in teenage. I have a blog from my childhood called Teenage Fanatic where I did a fan cast of the Wicked movie in like 2014 because this has been in the works for years. And in that I was like, I need Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel to make cameos in some capacity, and Stephen Schwartz was watching. Jon Chu was reading.
In it.
And Stephen Schwartz, actually, creator of Wicked the musical, did play a highly important role in One Short Day.
Maybe the most important role in the whole movie.
I would argue. Without him, it would fall apart.
Truly. So, crazy cameos. Cast goes crazy.
Insane.
I think we should maybe... How should we start this? Like, thoughts overall? Or... Because we have not spoken about the movie.
We literally got in the car and we said... No.
Yeah,
and then came back here and said, I'm going to save it for the pod.
Anything.
I wrote some sexy little notes during the movie.
I wrote nothing because having your phone out during a movie.
Oh my God.
When there's a lot of people in the theater is disrespectful.
I literally wrote like 4 notes. And I was quick. It was between
scenes.
And I
was covering your kid because the people behind you can probably see the light.
Okay.
But I did not write anything. I'm here off the cuff, off the dome, ready to talk.
Okay, you actually don't
ready to gab. But so...
Do we do like performances?
Okay, let's do that. Let's start with cast. Since we started with cast, we can talk about it.
Okay.
I think easiest one to start with is Cynthia Erivo.
Absolutely.
Elphaba.
Yes.
I think that this is a
different role for her.
Sure.
Okay.
I do. I was gonna say difficult role in general.
Oh, absolutely it is. Yeah. Especially over the course of the 2 movies, because it's like you have to be a university student, then you have to be like.
Yeah, I think it's a very difficult role. I think. And obviously musically it's an insanely difficult role. I remember like 2 years ago when they announced the cast. That was when I was like, oh, makes sense. No, 100%. Like I can see that.
The second they announced it, I was like, oh, we're in safe hands. Don't even worry about it. She could actually sing this in her sleep right now. It's not even.
She's proven that.
Absolutely.
Time and time again, Jimmy Fallon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Literally looks like she's taking a breath whenever she does a little riff, which many have struggled.
True.
Many have struggled.
Idina Menzel.
Even Idina Menzel herself famously has struggled.
Unfortunately, we don't have footage.
We don't have footage anymore. But yeah, I was relieved.
And overall, I think she was exactly what I thought she was going to be.
I am fully going to agree. I couldn't help. I try to like not go into things with expectations, but when she was announced, I was like, she's going to kill. Yeah, she's going to slaughter.
She killed.
And she did.
She was so good. Loved her performance.
Me too. She made some like specific choices with different moments in the show and did them differently from previous Elphabas, which I appreciated, but not in like a derogatory way.
I think her and Ariana Grande both did that.
100%.
I feel like that might have been a direction choice.
I don't know.
I do. I think that that's something when you're making a movie adaptation that you have to be so conscious of.
I very much agree.
That I think that Jon Chu probably had that in his mind when he was directing.
That's very true. Though I also am like, Cynthia Erivo, I feel like would just walk on and do whatever she wants.
I think that both of them probably also were very conscious of it.
For sure. Because they also like both know the material inside and out. They're theatre kids, I trust them.
And so I think they were both conscious of it. I think Jon Chu was very conscious of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that, as we know and have seen from footage of trailers, that they've done many takes in many different ways.
Oh, for sure.
I bet you they have done so many takes, doing
many choices.
Doing it in ways that other previous Elphabas and Glindas have done. Doing it in new ways and just trying to, like, I don't know, like, make new magic with it.
Do you think Cynthia did the original riff?
I guarantee it.
I would assume.
I guarantee that is recorded somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they've probably done so many different variations of the performance to, like, try new things and see what old things work.
Yeah.
Without being like,
I agree.
Oh, they're doing it the way that Kristen Chenoweth did it.
Exactly. And, no, you're so right. So I feel like the choices were somewhat up to them. Obviously, Jon would have been, like, throwing some into the mix. But I know that Jon was very, very involved in, like, the editing process.
Sure.
So he probably, like, was the one who cobbled it together and made the ultimate choice of what to include and what
Also,
to not.
I know we're 60 minutes in. Our mic quality is probably horrible right now.
Really?
I'm just saying that in general compared to what it usually is because we're together.
Yeah.
Which we did not say that for the audio listeners.
Hey guys, this is our 4th episode together in person.
Wait, that's actually crazy considering we're on episode like 50.
Yeah.
We've done 4 together.
Reveal with Matt.
Crazy. Actually, this is really well edited.
Incredible.
Which I feel like we made that joke every time we're together.
Every single time.
But yeah, Ariana Grande played Glinda.
She did.
This was maybe the most surprising not most surprising, but like when I read the cast,
yes, I
was like,
especially because like beforehand, everyone and their dog was throwing out a fan cast. Ariana actually didn't make it on mine. I know.
Fake.
Insane, because I am a little Ariana Grande fan. But a bunch of people were casting her as Elphaba in their fan cast.
Oh, yeah. And didn't she audition for Elphaba?
She didn't. She auditioned for Glinda.
I swore I read somewhere that she was, like, up for Elphaba at some point.
I think she didn't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
She said that she'd had, like, her heart set on Glinda. And that was, like, role of her lifetime. But everyone was, like, fan cast picking her for Elphaba, so was shocked when she was cast as Glinda because they were like, oh, she like belts a lot in her songs. Yeah. Okay,
so she did audition for both parts.
Yeah, I think they both. I think everyone just kind of auditioned. I don't know.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna say that because I doubt that's true, but
I don't know.
It's possible.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, how did you feel about Ariana Grande's performance in the movie?
I think she killed.
Okay.
I really do. And I was a little worried. Mm-hmm. I am an Ariana Grande fan, for sure. I'm also a Wicked fan. And I was a little worried. Because look, she was in Hairspray Live, and that was not Penny Pingleton remotely. That was Kat Valentine from Victorious. So I was like, babe, I don't know. Baby can't act. But I really think she killed.
You okay?
Yeah. Do you not?
I mean, I don't really like Ariana Grande's music.
Sure.
I used to. I used to be a big fan, and then sort of fell off. Just didn't really jive with it as it changed. I thought she was great in this. This is going to be crazy and maybe controversial. I think Glinda is a relatively easy character to play.
Sure.
For like the comedic timing, so I wasn't like absolutely blown away by her performance. I thought it was great. I thought it was really good. I also went in with like low expectations of her performance, and she exceeded those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was really, really funny.
She was insanely funny.
And if people aren't funny, I feel like then you can't, you'll fall flat with Glinda.
Yeah.
Or you can play it like stereotypically, because like she's ditzy and I don't know. I feel like you can lean too much into that, and it's.
I think she did.
She did, but not in a bad way.
No, it's not. I was gonna say stereotypes aren't necessarily a bad thing. I think I absolutely leaned into the ditzy blonde. stereotype.
For sure, but I don't know. I feel like you can do it in a way that's like, but not funny and
I think that the character
annoying.
is written with layers to like already like overcome from that stereotype. Yeah. So like, sure, I think she was leaning into that stereotype as the character was written, but it is a multi-layered character that prevents the stereotype from droning on. But no, I thought she was great. I thought she was really good.
I think she killed. She was better than I thought she was going to be as well.
Absolutely.
And I had higher expectations than you.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, when it was announced, I was like, I don't know. But then like seeing little clips, seeing all the work she put in, I was like, okay. Also, I know that she's a big fan and that she wouldn't, like she understood the gravity of the role and how much messing it up would offend little angry theater kids everywhere.
I don't really care how much work she put in. I think anybody who was put in that position should put in the work.
I agree. But seeing that, I was like, oh, okay, she is putting in the work, which means that it will probably
that didn't affect me.
Be better than if she hadn't.
Also feel like before I watched the movie, the thing I kept telling everybody about like Ariana Grande being cast was like anybody else, or not anybody else, but there's so many other people that could play the role.
Yeah.
But now that I've seen it, I'm ecstatic that she was cast.
Me too.
I think that she was the right pick.
I agree.
I was also like a little interested in seeing like how the dynamic between Cynthia and Ariana was gonna be.
Because on paper, I wouldn't cast them together.
No, I wouldn't think that that's like the chemistry, the characters, the people that are supposed to be put together. But I think that they had phenomenal,
incredible
chemistry.
And I think that that's the thing that like you need as well. Like if they don't have that friendship chemistry,
that's what Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel created.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you don't have that, then Glinda's not redeemable.
So true.
At all.
So true.
And you don't care, and there are no stakes.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I thought they had such a great chemistry. It was so palpable. I loved it. I thought the two of them together were like electric. Ethan Slater is Bach.
Ethan Slater is Bach.
Is Bach bigger in Act 2?
Yes.
I'd argue he's not at all in Act 1.
Yeah. Everyone was saying like Nessa Rose and Bach barely in the film.
Yeah.
And that's true because they are in fact barely in Act 1. Mm-hmm. They come back in Act 2 because he's the Tin Man.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz. So he...
Spoilers.
He pops up. Same with Fiyero. And I mean, Fiyero definitely got way more of a go.
He had a lot.
But he's in it more because he and Elphaba just kind of take it. Glinda's kind of in Act 2 less.
The Scarecrow.
He's the Scarecrow.
But Ethan Slater and I don't remember the girl's name that plays Nessa Rose.
Her name is one that I know.
Melissa?
Melissa Bode.
Yes.
Melissa Bode.
So they are barely in it. Melissa plays Nessa Rose, who is Elphaba's younger sister.
Yeah.
And Bach is sort of he's from Munchkinland.
He's in love with Glinda.
A student at Shiz who is in love with Glinda. Who
shouldn't get with her in real life.
And also who is dating, quote unquote dating, Nessa Rose.
Yes.
Because Glinda is like, oh, she needs...
Yeah, like, I know you love me, but you know what I would really love if you dated her?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, anything for you, babe.
But yeah, they're barely in it.
They're barely in it.
And...
she gets an arc, which I am curious to see how she goes with that next movie.
Is this her first
thing?
Like, I mean, she's probably done some small things, like maybe some tiny things, but...
I'll give it a Google.
I don't know
she's a little newbie. I think that's what everyone was saying in the press.
I think that she didn't quite... I think this was too big of a bite to chew for her as an actress.
I'm gonna say it. Come on, babe, give us nothing.
Yes, there was absolutely nothing behind the eyes, while the rest of the face was doing enough. Yeah. So it sort of was just blah.
But she also was like barely in this movie.
And her character also is sort of nothing right now.
Yeah, right now. Which is the whole point. She's sick of being a wallflower.
So I'm excited to see an arc and development for her, and maybe that was a choice.
Maybe.
Because her character is sort of just
lovely.
She's a bystander. That's what she is in this movie. Yes. And so I'm excited to see what happens for her and Ethan Slater's character in the next movie.
What do we think of Ethan Slater?
Again, I think he had a little bit more going for him
I thought he was really good. Like in terms of like bulk?
In terms of what he had.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's fine. I didn't have any issues with his performance.
Like not a note. Which I actually kind of always go in wanting to gun for Ethan Slater.
Yeah.
I don't like the man. I saw him in SpongeBob and it was revolting.
Yeah.
Worst performance I might have ever seen.
Which is, you can watch that on Paramount Plus right now, if you want to.
I'm good. Once was enough.
But yeah, I mean, he was great. Not great. He was fine. His character,
he was really good.
There wasn't really, I didn't think there was anything that he did that necessarily was like, oh, that was a great performance. Because he doesn't do much.
No, but like.
That's why I was like, he's fine.
By the book, killed.
No
good,
issues.
Great.
And I did have a little issue, but I'd like to see if she improves
Absolutely.
or what happens in the next movie.
Yes,
I'm not going to write her off quite yet.
No, we haven't seen the extent of what she can do.
Exactly. Same with him. I think that they're both about to maybe blow us out of the water.
Skyrocket. I think they're going to be the stars of Wicked Part 2. We'll see.
Jonathan Bailey, Fierro.
Killed.
Phenomenal.
So good. He was so like fun and playful with it.
And he's so funny.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
Some of his like little mannerisms and stuff was so funny. Like the physical comedy of it, not every Fierro does.
And the thing with Jonathan Bailey is I honestly feel as though he's so early on in his career right now.
Yeah.
And he has done so many vastly different roles.
The range?
Like,
the range on that man.
Truly vastly different.
Yes.
That when I was watching this, I was like, all right, he can do it all. Like, truly, he can do it all.
Oh my god, also the dancing on that man is crazy.
Oh my gosh, I did not know he could dance.
Dancing
like
through, I only know about it from the press tour when everyone's like, and he's shocked us all with his dancing and dancing through life. And he did, in fact, shock us all with his dancing.
So good in dancing through life.
So good. The charisma on that man is
I was literally going to say,
insane.
he's so charming and he is
so
so charismatic that it is like,
palpable.
I feel like it's like watching, just like you're just like sitting there like this the whole time watching him perform.
And everyone is in the cast, which I appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everyone, I think, in the theater probably was too.
Absolutely.
He's so good.
Your sister at one point made that
like,
very known. And I was obsessed
literally,
with it.
like, it's stylish. So true.
So true.
He was phenomenal.
He killed.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yes.
You can voice your opinion on Michelle Yeoh.
Okay.
You're one flaw.
I have one note.
One note.
One note.
Michelle, write this down.
I write this down. Your pen might be next to your Oscar.
That's funny.
Thank you. Don't sound shocked. Don't sound shocked. I think she killed.
Yes.
She is Madame Marable, the principal of the school, and even in this movie, she has like quite an arc. And it's only part one. Because at the beginning you have to kind of like her. She seems to be the only person on Elphaba's side. And then it turns out she's actually the villain.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, actually.
I feel like now that we've done and we're getting into it, we can spoil
it more. People have left.
Yeah.
There are 3 people left.
Yeah.
Yeah, she becomes like the villain and it turns out she's actually like at the helm of animal cruelty and she's using Elphaba for her powers so that she can be her little minion. But unfortunately, Elphaba doesn't conform. Huh. Yeah. Crazy.
The girl who's been ostracized her whole life doesn't conform to abusing other animals that are being ostracized.
Insane, but they thought that she would because they opened the door to acceptance. They said, babe, come on in, we'll make you...
They're gaslighting her.
Exactly. We're going to degreenify you and you can be the head of the land. And she said, actually, I'm going to stay green. I'm going to be your villain.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need a villain?
You need a villain? I'm right here, babe. But yeah, so Michelle Yeoh embodies that arc incredibly. Incredible actor, believed her, loved her, had some funny little moments as well. Range. My one note. In The Wizard and I, Madame Marable starts it off. She sings. Does Michelle Yeoh sing?
No.
That became clear to me. I actually went in not knowing. I was like, maybe she has a secret little voice under there. She doesn't?
No.
She doesn't. And I said, oh no.
And I think I agree with you. I think the internet agrees with you.
Yes.
Again, Michelle Yeoh is maybe one of the greatest actors working today.
I love her. Obsessed with her. Michelle, I love you.
Absolutely phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like she was great in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Acting wise. I agree. I don't think her singing was...
No. And there also...
Does it need to be? She doesn't sing much.
No, she doesn't sing that much. She does get a song and act too. Maybe.
She's got time for vocal lessons.
She's got time. Even though it's already filmed. She
had time.
She had time. Maybe. They filmed it for like 2 years.
Yes.
So
maybe.
hopefully.
Yeah.
also, yeah, it's not like I listen to Madame Marable's songs and I go,
I know, it's not defying gravity.
No.
Like, that's the thing.
Exactly, that's the thing. So at the same time, I don't care.
And I'd love to see Michelle Yeoh on the screen. I'm more than happy to watch her. She's phenomenal. And her eyes are so...
tell us so much.
Truly. Yeah. And that's why I was, like, comparing her to, like, Nessa Rose. It's crazy. Because I was like, Michelle Yeoh there is so much emotion and there is so much going on that it's just, I stare at her and I'm just like, she is doing everything and giving us everything. Mm-hmm. So that's why I feel like so apparent of, like, Nessa Rose having... no thoughts.
Not a thing. Okay, so, like, maybe before next film, Melissa needs to take some notes from Michelle.
Sure.
Michelle can take some notes from Melissa.
I don't know if she needs to take too many, because I don't know if she was really the best singer.
She was fine.
She's fine.
She was fine.
Yeah.
We'll see. She gets a kill a little belting note in the second movie.
Can't wait. Maybe
Can't wait.
Just get stop. Jeff Goldblum, last but not least.
Killed, great.
Not in it too much. I don't think he comes in until like an hour and a half into it, maybe later.
Also, the wizard is kind of barely in the whole musical,
and not
to be
super
honest.
important.
That's the whole thing.
He's
a fraud. He's nothing. He's a puppet.
So Jeff Goldblum, lovely to see. It feels almost like a cameo.
No, it genuinely does. He just like gave his natural little charisma and charm.
And he sings a little ditty.
He's a sexy little singer. He's a good singer. I learned that on Glee.
Yeah, he is.
I was pleasantly surprised by that.
And the other thing about Jeff Goldblum's character sort of being nothing and being a puppet for the whole thing is, even towards, spoiler, the end when Elphaba has her whole moment and defies gravity and Glinda is stuck up there with the monkeys. Michelle Yeoh is the one who comes to her, not Jeff Goldblum. We don't even see him really at the end.
Michelle Yeoh is using the wizard as a puppet to orchestrate her grand plan.
He's not even really important. That's why it felt like an overactive cameo.
Exactly.
It's like Idina Menzel and
absolutely.
Kristen.
Honestly, we're probably at the same amount.
Yeah.
They probably sang more.
They definitely sang more.
Yeah. Let's talk about their performances.
Phenomenal.
Killed.
It's lovely
Perfect.
to see them.
No notes. Also, I love they had a playful little fight.
I know, with their playful little fight, or not playful little fight, but their little moment with the respective Elphaba and Glinda's.
Loved that.
Loved it.
Loved that. Had a playful little fight with each other because at the time rumors were stirring that they quarreled, which I don't think I believe it, to be honest.
I think that they probably are BFFs now, even if it did.
But I'm also like,
people love to make drama.
People love, especially in 2003, people love to pit two women against each other. Apparently they were like vying for who's going to get the Best Actress Tony nomination. Like, I don't know. No, I'm going to go with no. They both got Tonys. Who cares?
They were
super cute.
lovely.
And Idina did her original riff, which
oh my gosh,
I lost my mind.
It was amazing.
It's so good.
But that was the performances. I thought it was great.
Bowen Yang.
Oh, sure. Forgot. We didn't even mention.
He's in it.
SNL star
of Saturday Night Live.
Fifth build.
No, crazy. Ethan Slater fourth build.
But that's so that we can have the with Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum.
No, I appreciate that, but still, it was wild. Ethan Slater should not be fourth build on any film.
Not.
I don't care if he's the
lead.
Not
even this, because he was not.
No, he's what, 4 lines?
Yeah.
I could probably be fourth
That's
build.
how I felt about Bowen Yang. So you told me that you're like, oh, I heard that Bowen Yang mostly improvised all of his lines. All of his one line.
So I said, I heard he mostly improvised his stuff, and then a lot of it was cut.
They
really did. They sheared it off.
Because I think he had like one line.
Yeah, honestly. Though, like, he was funny.
No, yeah.
It was good. It was good. Which good, because, I'm leaving it there.
And his character's not important.
I'm not going to lie, when I heard he was cast, I was like, as who? And then I saw the character name and I said, who?
It's important for Glinda's development as a character.
Absolutely. For sure. I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the Broadway musical, like, they don't, like,
those characters don't exist?
Not really. Like, they're just a chorus of people, like, who are like, yes, Glinda.
Her friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there are two specific friends.
Yes. Which I think for a movie is important to have.
I agree. And also because you're literally making one half of the story the length of the entire story on Broadway. So you can lengthen it out. You have time to meet it up.
I think it's easier for us as audience members to, like, digest.
Absolutely.
And understand.
And we love a little sassy.
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah?
Both of them.
No, yeah.
Both of them. We
sure.
love a little
There was another one.
sassy sidekick. There's also a woman.
Yep, she's there.
She's there.
Don't know who it is.
Literally no idea. Couldn't tell you.
She wasn't fifth billed.
No. She wasn't even built.
And they had about the same.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
That's crazy. What Saturday Night Live gets you?
Truly.
Did you hear that Ariana fought for him?
Yeah, because you're not allowed to work outside of SNL while you're a cast member.
Yeah, so she called up Lorne Michaels and said, hey, we need
And of course,
Bo and Yang.
Ariana Grande is gonna convince somebody to do it. So.
Yeah. She did say that she called him up, and the second that he picked up, she was like, why am I the one doing this? Which is such a good question. Why did they need someone in the cast? But that's true. Also, like, she's been on SNL.
If Lorne Michaels gets a call from Ariana Grande, it's gonna be like, oh.
Exactly. And I'm also going to assume that he loves her because he does keep letting her on, like, many a time, which, as she should, her episode's called.
Yeah.
But, yes.
But yeah, this cast goes crazy. Phenomenal cast. Cynthia, Ariana, Jonathan standouts for me.
Absolutely. I agree. Which they should be.
As expected. Truly as expected.
Truly as expected.
And then, we talked about the plot. Is there anything that you wanted to, like, share?
Just, like, overall notes?
Yeah, or I don't know, like, maybe if there's something, like, plot-wise that maybe was a little different from the musical.
Yes.
I don't know it well enough to speak on anything, really.
Plot-wise, it was pretty much the same. The one, like, added thing that I noticed, like the poppy thing, they really expanded upon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I loved that, because that was, like, the callback to the Wizard of Oz. Where they fall asleep from the poppies.
Yeah, so there's like a scene in the classroom. Elphaba gets a little angry because they're being mean to animals. Peter Dinklage is in this movie.
Oh, yes. He voices her teacher.
Yes, Dr. Jill, which I did not know until the credits.
I did, but that's...
I think I must have heard it and just forgot.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, he killed. He killed.
Yeah.
Dr. Gilliland, I felt really bad for.
Yes, same. As Cynthia did.
Bad.
That was good.
That was good, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
He played her goat teacher.
Yes. And in the thing, the goat teacher's being persecuted against, he gets arrested. And then Elphaba's like, no! And a bunch of puppies in the room just like pop off and everyone goes to sleep. Except for Fiyero.
And obviously Elphaba.
And Elphaba, because she's powerful.
As Fiyero
as fans of the Wizard of Oz
becomes the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
In the poppy scene in the Wizard of Oz, where they are traveling to Oz and they're in a poppy field that makes them all fall asleep. Who doesn't? The Scarecrow. So that was I loved that.
No,
I loved
that.
Such a good addition.
And I was like, that's so cool, because in the musical they just kind of like grab him and run.
I thought that was great.
But I was like, that's so cool.
And it also sort of sparked the connection between them, because Fiyero and Elphaba.
Yes, because he was like, why did whatever you just did not affect me? She didn't even have an answer.
Yeah, I thought it was such a smart addition.
Such a good addition.
Yeah.
No notes. Also, just like their little connection in general, they had great chemistry.
I agree. Especially when Elphaba is going to
the train
to go to the wizard, and you get to see sort of the distance that Fiyero is creating with Glinda and the connection that he has with Elphaba. It's so good.
He also had good, like, superficial chemistry with Glinda.
But agreed.
Well, Ariana.
But that's the thing.
They had the chemistry they needed. He will have chemistry.
He will have
with
probably chemistry with anybody that he comes in.
Honestly,
every single person that he interacted with in Dancing Through Life.
I was gonna say that. And also, like, where he had great chemistry with Bo and Yang at the board. I said, oh.
Yep. It's like everybody.
Anyone.
So
I would love to make eye contact with that man. I would pay good money.
Phenomenal.
Incredible.
Loved the chemistry.
Oh my god, him and the librarian.
Oh my god.
Palpable.
Incredible.
Insane.
With a knife. And so there is a scene right before, or as Dancing Through Life starts, where he is told to shush because they're in a library. Yeah. And the librarian, he like makes her swoon and like flirts with her, and like I'm just imagining everyone's on set and they're like, we need a librarian.
Yeah.
And they just like pick some random older woman who then has this huge moment with Jonathan
Bailey and is the star of Wicked.
Not enough.
Insane. I see big things
for her. You go home
that
day, file for divorce.
No, the thing is, I would. That's crazy.
It was so funny and so good.
So good.
I love the story of Wicked.
Me too. I think it's so clever, and I love all of the like Wizard of Oz Easter eggs.
That's exactly what it is.
It's such a good fan service.
The only issue I think it has in that contradicts the Wizard of Oz is this happens with Dorothy, and it's before Wicked, it was sort of in Dorothy's mind of like she was knocked out from the tornado, and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion are her farmhands, and the Wicked Witch is Miss Gulch that stole Toto, and so that's where I'm like, these were people in Dorothy's life. How are they now? So
I'm gonna talk about string theory. I don't know about string theory. But, like, I feel like if we could frame it
as
like,
Oz is whoever.
Oz is what it means to you.
Yeah.
No, Oz is what the heart is. No, like, there are two universes.
Okay.
There is the Oz universe, and there is the Kansas universe. Dorothy gets thrown into the Oz universe, and those people are just, they look like that. They're the equivalents in that universe, you know?
Okay, sure.
And then she gets kicked out
like
at the end.
a parallel universe.
Yeah, this is like an AU fanfiction that she accidentally falls into. Sure. Yeah. The tornado swept her there. So Madame Marvel's tornado accidentally extended to real Kansas and brought her in.
I think another fun way of looking at it, Dorothy's an idiot.
Dorothy so dumb.
has never looked her farmhands in the eye.
Never
because
once.
They're the help. Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares?
So she thinks that these guys look just like her
exactly,
but they don't.
No, not remotely. And then she just thinks that all white people look the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's right.
So my question, you might have an answer for this because I don't know Wicked well enough to answer this. Fiyero and Bach and the Lion
yes,
are the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Are they genuinely... So how does that coincide with Dorothy and like her mission, and how are they genuinely helping Dorothy, you know, but they're scared of the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz.
So I think Bach,
sure, yes. Fiyero.
Lion, she accidentally scares in Act 2, I think.
Okay.
Fiyero, no.
So
he's always on her side.
So after Wicked, we're looking at The Wizard of Oz with seeing the Scarecrow putting up a show.
Yes.
Putting a performance on for Dorothy.
So if you had to go back and do your High School Musical again, would you add that layer of nuance?
I'd have that nuance in my head.
Absolutely.
That layer of the character. I think so.
Yeah.
Because...
And that's why he's literally playing dumb.
But they're... true, and he doesn't have a brain. But so they're actually actively trying to help Dorothy, truly.
Yes.
Okay. I need to... Once part 2 comes out, I need to rewatch The Wizard of Oz to maybe find that nuance and see what nuance I can create.
Yes.
I think. Because I feel like it could just be like, I'm going to write my own story now of how that fits in.
I mean, it basically is an AU fanfiction that just
That's
did
when you
very
said that,
well.
When you said that, I said, sounds about right. That's what this is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to, once part 2 comes out, which, next Christmas?
Before that.
Really?
It's pretty much the exact same release date, but next year.
I keep thinking it's Christmas. No, it's Thanksgiving.
Feels like Christmas.
So next Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I'm going to need to rewatch Wizard of Oz right after.
We'll go see part 2 next year.
Okay. But yeah, overall, like, loved the movie.
Loved.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I loved it, honestly.
Same.
Yeah.
I honestly expected to love it.
Me too.
The thing.
That's why I was worried.
I went in with like a higher expectation. I'm not going to say super high, but it was high.
Yeah.
Because I love the musical. I love the music.
Exactly.
So I was very excited to see this.
Yes. Yeah. I also
exceeded my expectations.
Me too. I'd heard so much hype from people I know in particular as well. Just like being like, it's great, you'll love it. But then they're like, I don't want to hype it up too much.
And so many people were like pissed because we waited to see it.
Yes.
And so many people were like, you have not seen it?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I know. But stop talking like it's the greatest movie you've ever seen.
But it kind of is.
It might be.
No, I'm so happy. I would have been so disappointed for a number of reasons. Not mainly. One, because the hype.
Yeah.
And two, also just because like this movie has been talks for years.
Absolutely. They've been creating it for about 10
years. And I was like, you
years.
waited this long and it flopped?
That'd be so... And
it was not a service to the musical?
Jon Chu has some banging hits. Crazy Rich Asians.
Yep.
Got some great movies.
In the Heights.
Yeah. But also is maybe not the greatest sometimes. So that's why I was worried. This isn't somebody that has only made hits.
That's true. Though I feel like he proved himself within the Heights.
Movie
musicals.
Yes.
He can do... Apparently, Stephen Schwartz met with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, really?
And was like, is he a good choice? And Lin-Manuel was like, good. Perfect.
No, I agree. I think Jon Chu was... He killed.
Incredible.
He knocked it out of the
And
park.
He's a little theatre kid.
So good.
So that's why I'm like, good. Okay, good.
So what is your rating? What are you giving this out of 5? Or out of 10, I guess?
10. I'm going to give it a 10.
I'm also going to give it a 10.
Yay! Shut up!
We also didn't let her backstage.
No,
because
not
we were
yet.
like, don't tell.
I
don't
have some
show.
specific notes.
Sure.
One thing I did like, and one thing that I missed, but I understand why I wasn't there, in The Wizard and I, there's like this famous thing. There's actually a compilation of every Elphaba doing this bit at the end of The Wizard and I with the bag thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I want the bag thing, just because that's iconic. But she wasn't holding a bag. She didn't just get that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But still, I was like, is she gonna do it? But no, she didn't. But what I
Put a bag on her and she's
yeah. What I did really like that they added in The Wizard and I, they lent into the Kansas.
Yeah.
That's
with
so
the
fun.
Field. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was great.
Loved that.
Yeah.
Loved
That's
that.
the thing with this compared to like a stage musical is they have the ability to like obviously go full scale and have this huge like set and huge everything. And they did.
And they took advantage of that, which thank God, because
really
if they
did.
didn't, then I'd be like, what's the point?
Because they grew all those poppies.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
The set is crazy. And the fact that like so much of it was practical as well, like crazy.
That's why they have to do the movies back to back.
Yes.
Because they've done all of this
sure.
and they have to take advantage of it while they have it.
Absolutely. I also... So the press tour is quite famous.
Of course.
Of course it is. And I'm just gonna slot one thing in there. I'm not in defense of all of it. I'm along for the ride. I'm finding it very funny. I love holding space. I'm actually obsessed with it.
We always hold space.
We always hold
for
space.
The lyrics.
For the lyrics of Defying Gravity. But they did like get to live in the world for 2 years, so I do get why they're like very connected to it. I can see how that would happen.
I'm just gonna stay silent on that because I think I could go on for hours about how I think that's completely inaccurate.
No, like they did like, get to live there for 2 years.
Okay, Austin Butler.
I'm not okay. I hate him. I hate him. But like, I'm just saying. I also understand the emotional connection to the material. They love Wicked, whatever.
Sure.
That's what I'm gonna say. Do I think crying in every interview is crazy? Yes. Am I obsessed with it though? Also yes.
That's the thing. It's
Will I be locked and clocked? Oh,
it's getting
absolutely.
clicks.
I'm watching the full thing.
But you know,
I love when people are in queer media.
Overall, I think that, as we have seen, the marketing budget is obviously absolutely insane for this movie, considering it's everywhere. Xfinity phones and everybody and their
everyone and their dog. Lego.
Yeah.
I saw some ice cream collab. Like, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. So, like, that's why there's a million interviews on top of that. So
they also did like a full-on press tour in Sydney, a full-on press tour in London.
And they've got these people, these previous interviews where they're like crying and being emotional and it's getting these insane click rates. Obviously, every interviewer after that is going to try and recreate that to get the clicks. And it's working.
Absolutely.
So, whatever.
Also, at this point, they're probably not getting any sleep. They're constantly on the run doing this press tour. Of course, Andrea, the cry at the drop of a hat, too.
And after watching the movie, cry all you want.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't care.
I agree. And I did.
Truly.
I did,
Same.
yeah.
I think I cried way too many times.
Me too,
At points that I didn't need to.
I cried in Popular. I heard the opening and I went...
Stop. I bawled in the end of Dancing Through Life.
Yeah.
And then also like the dance scene. Yeah. Sobbing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Defying Gravity.
Obviously the whole time.
Yeah.
I cried during The Wizard and I.
Me too.
I cried during What Is This Feeling?
Me too.
Favorite song from Wicked?
In general?
Act 1, not Act 2.
I'm trying to find Gravity.
Really? Oh no, mine's What Is This Feeling?
I love What Is This Feeling. I mean, my favorite 4. The Wizard and I, What Is This Feeling, Popular, and Defying Gravity.
Where's Dancing Through Life?
That's the thing is, this one really killed. Sometimes I don't care about it.
I think my favorite was What Is This Feeling, and then probably Defying Gravity, then probably Dancing Through Life, then Popular.
Popular was so fun.
And then Wizard and I.
Yeah. And Popular is like, well, I mean, they're all overdone.
Yeah.
But I feel like
obviously, yeah.
it's very Popular is very overdone, and a lot of people do it in exactly the same way with exactly the same intonation as Christian Chenoweth. And I liked that some of it was very much giving Christian and some of it wasn't. So I liked
it was a mix.
It was a good mix.
But yeah. But no, I loved the movie. I thought it was great. Cannot wait for Act 2.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. There were 2 lines that were omitted.
And those lines were?
There was no reference to the Ozdas Ballroom being the swankiest place in town.
Sure.
I personally just love that line. And when she was doing the like wand thing before Popular, a lot of the time she says, well, not a lot of the time, in the musical she says, "Is this thing on?"
Oh, yeah.
And it was in the ad.
I actually remember that.
Yeah.
And
I was waiting for it, and it didn't come.
Now, tell me all the lines that were added.
That was a choice.
But no.
I know, the lines that were added, loved.
Yeah.
I loved that.
That's the
Some
thing.
people are sticklers about that. Stephen Schwartz historically has been a stickler about changes to the music and changes to lines and whatever. I loved every edition.
That's the thing, is it needs it at a lot of points.
Especially because 2003 was 21 years ago.
Yeah. But it was overall phenomenal.
Great.
One of my favorite movies of the year.
I think it might be my favorite
Your number
movie
one?
of the year.
It's not my number one, unfortunately. But it's up there.
It might be. No, I think it is.
It will be in my top 10 list.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Spoilers for that episode.
Yes. No, I think I have to put it at number 1.
You don't have to. Actually, you do.
You do. No, I for myself, I have to.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, Eloise Martin-Jones, shout out.
Oh my god. Eloise Martin-Jones, our favorite production assistant.
Production assistant for Wicked.
We took a picture. It's
we
on
did.
the screen.
It's right here.
We love you.
We love you.
We're so proud.
That's crazy. You're literally
We
like
should
the biggest movie
do
of the year.
another Wicked episode and talk to her.
We should.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
in January.
Is out on both of them.
True. Or we can
space?
watch The Wizard of Oz with Eloise.
That's actually
that's what
so
we'll
good
do.
because I think she signed an NDA.
Yeah, so we'll
Yeah, so
watch
this
The
is
Wizard of Oz.
perfect.
We'll
This
talk
is
to
great.
Eloise just about
Love.
The Wizard of Oz and Wicked.
Yeah, and how she feels about Oz.
Yeah. So that's what we should do.
Yes. The sound mixing was bad.
Oh yes.
That's my
Nobody's
biggest note.
talking about
no,
that.
but everyone's talking about the color grading, and everyone needs to get off the color grading.
It's fine.
The color grading was good.
Yeah,
I actually don't have any problems with it. I don't understand.
I have about every single issue with the movie is with
the sound mixing. At first, it was low for our cinema in
Yes.
general, and then they turned it up, and I said, why can't I hear the vocals?
But that's the thing is like I'm like I can't. Am I deaf?
No, I was like, what? And I think it was, what is this feeling? The ensemble was singing really loudly, and I couldn't hear either of them.
The soloists.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
And
it was the big group numbers or just the big orchestral points that you cannot hear
them.
the soloists sing at all. It's horrendous.
It's terrible. At one point, Ariana was lip syncing. Well,
yeah,
and I said,
hope you're happy now.
There's no sound coming out.
Yeah.
And they allegedly, they sang live on set, so there was sound in real life.
Horribly mixed.
Out.
I did go to the theater front desk and say, can you guys turn up the volume? Because I'm deaf.
I can't hear a thing.
I literally had to tell them, I was like, it's not just me.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear anything.
Yeah. And I couldn't.
And that's the worst part of the movie.
No, fully. I'm like, who did that?
Yeah. Well, they told us in the credits.
They did.
Picture it. I'm just kidding.
I have some notes.
Yeah.
You've got some time before part 2.
Please
babe,
fix it. Because also the fact that nobody on the internet is talking about it is making me upset. Because I'm like, they're not going to fix it.
No.
Too.
I don't get it.
It's awful.
But apart from that, loved the movie. I'm so glad you gave it a 5.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to tell you at all, actually. But I think that's all I have to say about Wicked.
I think that's all I have to say about Wicked.
We'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year.
Two.
And also we'll see you next week.
See you next.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.